It's back, everybody. It's time for this year's edition of college football to start off. Later this week, we'll have college football to watch. Who is the in? Who's out? Who's going to be 1-0? Who's going to be 0-1? At least in my opinion. The season premiere of my edition of college football picks. Coming up next, only right here, Boomer Sooner 1982. Stay tuned, everybody. As always, we'll start this edition in the local area that I like to cover, or as I like to call the Big 12 Conference, where the Oklahoma State Cowboys, for the second straight year, start away from Boone Pickens Stadium. This year, a little bit further than just Arlington, Texas, though. They'll be out in they'll be out in Michigan, where Oklahoma State will be at Central Michigan on ESPNU. I think Oklahoma State can get this win. I really do think they can. At 6 o'clock. At 8 o'clock on Thursday night, TCU finishes the home-and-home with Minnesota on ESPN. I'm going to take TCU in this ball game. Friday night at 7 o'clock, Baylor will be at SMU on ESPN. Now, I think that if this game were to be against anybody else, a big boy team, I think I might like SMU in this ball game because of all the transgressions, all the problems, all the hysteria that's been going on in Waco. But they're playing SMU. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm really going to take SMU in this ball game. Not going to happen. I'm taking Baylor. Saturday game slate. Get you some bratwurst and with a sausage burrito for the 11 a.m. game between South Dakota State and Kansas on Fox Sports Southwest, Oklahoma. I'm going to take Kansas on Fox Sports Southwest. On Fox Sports Net, they're at 2:30. They're going to have their second game, and that's going to be between Sam Houston State, and that's going to be at Texas Tech in Lubbock on Fox Sports Net. I'm taking the Raiders. The next game on the docket will be my Sooners. They'll play Akron in Norman. Pay-per-view, Fox Sports at 6 o'clock, as I said. I'm going to take Oklahoma. I'm taking Oklahoma. 6:30, there's a trunkload of them. South Dakota State will be at Kansas State on the Kansas State Network. I'm taking Kansas State. On NBC, Charlie Strong and Texas take their show on the road on national television at Notre Dame on ESPN. I'm taking Notre Dame. And on Fox Sports, you'll see Georgia Southern at West Virginia. I'm taking the Mountaineers. The final game of the night will be Northern Iowa at Iowa State. I'm taking the Clones. What up the rest of the nation? Well, 5 o'clock on Thursday night, I believe that is, they'll have North Carolina at South Carolina on ESPN. I'm going to take South Carolina. On CBS Sports, they'll have Florida International at Central Florida. The battle for Florida's, I'm taking Central Florida. They'll have 3 games on ESPN3, including Elon, and they're going to be at Wake Forest. I'm going to take Wake Forest. Virginia Military Institution will be at Ball State. I'm taking Ball State. And Stony Brook will be at Toledo. I'm taking Toledo. At 6:30, there will be 2 more ESPN3 games, including Alcorn State at Georgia Tech. I'm taking the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And then will also be Villanova, and they'll be at the University of Connecticut on ESPN3. I'm taking UConn. At 7 o'clock on the SEC Network, Western Kentucky will be at Vandy. On the SEC Network, I'm taking Vanderbilt. On the Fox Sports 1 at 7:30, Michigan will be at Utah. I'm going to take Utah on this one. At 8 o'clock Central Time, the University of Ohio will be at Idaho on ESPN3. I'm taking Idaho. CBS Sports Network, Duke will be at Tulane at 8:30 on the CBS Network. I'm going to stick with the Dukies. At 9 o'clock on your Pac-12 networks, Texas San Antonio will be at Arizona on the Pac-12 network. I'm taking Arizona. The Friday games start at midnight, where you will see Colorado at Hawaii on CBS Network. They will be. I'm going to take Colorado. The main Saturday games again get kicked off at 2:30 p.m. where Charlotte will be at Georgia State. I'm sorry, on the ESPNU. I'm taking Charlotte. At 6 o'clock, you'll see Michigan State at Western Michigan on ESPNU. I'm taking Michigan State. You'll also see on ESPN3.com, you'll see Rhode Island at Syracuse. I'm taking the Qs. At 7 o'clock, you'll see Weber State at Oregon State on the Pac-12 network. I'm going to take Oregon State. At 8 p.m. on the Big Ten network, you'll see Kent State at Illinois. On the Big Ten network, I'm going to take Illinois. And on ESPN, you'll see Washington at Boise State on ESPN. I'm going to take Boise State. Peterson's first game back. I think that place is going to be rocking for Peterson's first game back, and they're just going to they're going to lose a squeaker. Now it's to the main games, the Saturday games. Again, the early breakfast kickoffs begin at 11 o'clock, as always. You'll see University of Louisiana Monroe at Georgia on the SEC Network. I'm sticking with Georgia. The other SEC game on the SEC Network will be Tennessee Martin at Ole Miss. I'm going to take Ole Miss. The ESPN game will be Stanford at Northwestern. I'm taking Stanford on ESPN. ESPN News will have Norfolk at Rutgers. I'm taking Rutgers. The Big Ten Network will have Illinois State at Iowa. I'm taking Iowa. Richmond at Maryland will be the ESPNU game. I'm taking Maryland. And finally, the CBS Sports Network game, Colgate at Navy. I'm taking Navy. At the 11:30 kickoff time, Brett Venables and our old buddy from Oklahoma, now Clemson. They have their home opener against Wolford at Clemson, ESPN3.com. I'm taking Clemson. The noon games, Youngstown State, Bo Pelini and Youngstown State will be at Pittsburgh on ESPN3. I'm taking Pitt. Also on ESPN3, you'll see Maine at Boston College on ESPN3. I'm taking Boston College, both games at 12. The 1 o'clock game, our old buddy Mike Leach will be at home when Portland State is at Washington State on the Pac-12 network. I'm taking Washington State. 2 o'clock p.m. game, Old Dominion will be at Eastern Michigan on ESPN3. I'm taking Eastern Michigan. The 2:30 games, BYU at Nebraska on ABC. I'm taking Nebraska. They're going to have to work through a lot of these suspensions, but I think that they're going to get it done. Penn State will be at Temple on ESPN. I'm taking Penn State. And the next CBS Sports Network game at 2:30 will be Florida Atlantic, and they'll be at Tulsa, up the road at Tulsa on CBS Sports Network. I'm taking Tulsa. ESPNU will have University of Texas of El Paso at Arkansas. I'm taking Arkansas. Louisville and Auburn will play in the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic. I'm actually taking Louisville. Bobby Petrino, his first game back. Auburn, maybe they might be a little bit too amped up for this thing. I'm going to take Louisville. Virginia will be at UCLA. That will be the Fox game, the Fox National game. I'm taking the UCLA. The ESPN3 game at this time will be Albany at Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo. Another one of ESPN3 games, Presbyterian, will be at Miami of Ohio. I'm taking Miami of Ohio. And finally, the final ESPN3 game for this, Howard at Appalachian State. I'm taking App State. The 3 o'clock games will be a neutral site game when Bowling Green is in Tennessee. Those two will play in Nashville on the SEC network. I'm taking Tennessee. The SEC network will also have the opposite SEC game will be Southeast Missouri State, and they'll be at Missouri. I'm going to take Missouri. And ESPN News will have Southern Illinois at Indiana on ESPN News. I'm taking Indiana. 4 o'clock game, Grambling State will be at Cal on the Pac-12 network. I'm taking Cal. 5 o'clock, ESPN3 games. These are all ESPN3.com games. No Fox Sports, no ESPN games. So these are all ESPN3.coms, including the Bethune-Cookman will be at Miami of Florida. I'm taking Miami of Florida. ESPN3.com will also have Troy at NC State. I'm taking NC State. Townsend and East Carolina on ESPN3. I'm taking East Carolina. And Gardner-Webb will be at University of South Alabama on ESPN3. I'm taking USA. At 6 o'clock, ESPN3.com has 3 more games, including Missouri State at Memphis. I'm taking Memphis on ESPN3.com. Florida A&M will be at South Florida on ESPN3.com. I'm taking South Florida. And Alabama A&M will be at Cincinnati on ESPN3.com. I'm taking Cincy. ESPN will have Arizona State at Texas A&M for the Texas Kickoff Classic. Regional, one of those neutral site games in Houston. The game will be on ESPN. I'm taking the Aggies. One other SEC team in action are Buddy Bob Stoops' brother Mark Stoops with Kentucky. They will host Louisiana Lafayette. Louisiana Lafayette will be at Kentucky, ESPNU, again at 6 o'clock p.m., and I'm going to take Kentucky. A little bit later in the day, 6:30, 3 games. UNLV will be at Northern Illinois on the CBS network. I'm going to keep Northern Illinois. 2 SEC channel games, SEC network games. First one will be McNeese State at LSU. I'm going to take LSU. The opposite game will be New Mexico State at Florida on the SEC network. I'm going to take Florida. The prime time games for Saturday, Cowboy Kickoff Classic from Dallas Cowboy Stadium, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Wisconsin and Alabama on ABC. I'm going to take Alabama, but this thing might be a little closer than the experts think. They got some things to work out, but don't forget this Wisconsin team played pretty well up until the championship game. So in the Big Ten against Ohio State, and everybody lost big to Ohio State last year. So we'll just say that. ESPN News has a game also. That will be Texas State at Florida State on ESPN News. I'm going to take Florida State. There was one of the teams that they beat, Oregon, from Ohio State, that is, Oregon. They will host Eastern Washington on the Pac-12 network. I'm going to take Oregon. Tennessee Tech at Houston, ESPN3.com. I'm taking the Cougs of Houston. At 9 p.m., Mississippi State will be at Southern Miss on Fox Sports 1. I'm taking Mississippi State. At 10 o'clock, Arkansas State will be at USC, Southern California, Pac-12 network. I'm taking SC. Sunday, one game on Fox Sports 1. You'll see Purdue and Marshall on Fox Sports 1. I'm taking Marshall. And finally, the final game on kickoff weekend, that team that beat Oregon, the Ohio State University, will play the one and only team to beat them last year. They'll play them in Blacksburg this time, though. Ohio State at Virginia Tech on ESPN at 7 o'clock on Monday. I'm taking the Ohio State University. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, as I say during this part of it, don't take these picks. Don't take them to the bank in Las Vegas. I'm not a celebrity picker. I'm not a prognosticator. I try to be a celebrity picker. I'm not a prognosticator. So I'm not promising that these guys win. Other than that, thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for my OU pregame. If you're an OU guy, so be looking for that. Or girl, by the way. You can find me on Facebook, Harry James Taylor, or you can tweet me at SoonerFanOK. Tell me what you guys think, and have a great week. See you guys next Sunday, and as always, enjoy your first weekend of college football. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm out of here.